says ABC's Mary Alice Parks.
Trump conceded that he has not gotten reassurances from senators that Hegseth will definitely be confirmed. They know this is still going to be a challenge, but Trump said that Hegseth has a tremendous track record. He called him a good student. He pushed back on some of those allegations against him and said that, at least for now, he would keep trying to get Hegseth confirmed.
President-elect's in Paris attending the reopening of the Notre Dame Cathedral. He'll meet with President Emmanuel Macron and Prince William. ABC's James Longman is in Paris with more on the rebuild that followed the 2019 fire.
Work inside that church has been a church that weren't affected in the fire, so it's even better than it was back in 2019. They're expecting 40,000 visitors a day here. You've got to book online.
In New York, the FBI has joined the search for the killer of a healthcare executive. ABC's Aaron Katersky has the latest on the search.
The NYPD now believes the suspect who gunned down United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson has escaped New York City. Last seen riding out of Central Park on a bike after the shooting. Police say the suspect hopped into a taxi, headed to the bus station by the George Washington Bridge, and made his getaway.
Authorities recovered a backpack they believe belonged to the shooter. And ceremonies today at Pearl Harbor, marking 83 years since the Japanese attack. You're listening to ABC News.
I got a line.
He got a line.
She got a line.
We got 4 lines. Cricket Nation, Q finger guns, really easy, super stress-free. 5G so fast, like blazing fast. Games and memes, you'll have a blast. You can get fast 5G across 4 lines. You can get fast 5G across 4 lines. As we discuss, take it from us. We 4 are one Cricket Nation.
And only $25 a line. Welcome to more lines. Welcome to Cricket Nation. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Discount varies by line. Fees may apply. Terms and restrictions apply. See cricketwireless.com for details.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
South Korea's president apologizing to the country.
존경하는 국민 여러분.
President Yoon Suk-yeol apologized for causing public anxiety when he declared martial law earlier this week. This nationally televised announcement came just hours out of a vote in parliament to impeach him. But the president has survived that vote as members of his party boycotted the vote. But there are still ongoing protests calling for the president to resign his position. A federal court upheld the law that compels the sale of TikTok.
Having now failed to convince a panel of federal appeals court judges that it should remain in the hands of China-based ByteDance, TikTok says it will look to the Supreme Court. The big question is where President-elect Trump now stands. In his first term, Trump called for a ban on TikTok, and his incoming FCC chair has long advocated for that. But in this last campaign, Trump suggested he would save the app. The law upheld by the appeals court requires a sale by January 19th, allowing for a one-time presidential waiver based on active steps to divest.
That's ABC's Stephen Portnoy. A New York judge dismissed a second-degree manslaughter charge against Daniel Penny, a Marine veteran who's
proven forms of magnesium to target every system in your body. Don't let stress and burnout ruin your holidays. Get Magnesium Breakthrough from Bioptimizers and give your body the magnesium it craves. It's the perfect gift for yourself or a loved one this holiday season. For an exclusive offer, go to bioptimizers.com/radio and use promo code radio during checkout to save 10% and
Now, let's get you caught up on Yankton High School athletics with KYNT Sports Director.
And good morning here on the Coach's Corner. I'm Bryce Ladwig. Thank you for joining us here. 1019 Broadway Avenue in Yankton. The Coach's Corner show powered by Explorers Credit Union. Wherever you want your financial journey to take you, Explorers Credit Union is here to help with the vision of financial empowerment for everyone. Discover the difference at explorerscu.com. And all guests join us on the Pizza Ranch phone line if they aren't in the studio. But our first guest is in the studio. It is Coach Justin Olson, Gazelles Gymnastics. And Coach, first time in the studio for the winter show, and welcome.
Well, thank you, Bryce. Yeah, it just seems like I was here the other day talking football, but,
a few weeks ago.
Yeah, took a little break, and then we're back at it. So
speaking of football, obviously, you're on to gymnastics, clearly, obviously, but how long did it take to kind of have like the football out of your system, right? Because the transition has to be, it's pretty fast for you.
Yeah, it overlaps by 2 weeks, essentially. And, we this year we got a week overlap for sure. Missed out on that second week of overlap. But, so it keeps on rolling, and that's why, you have good assistants, So when I'm not there in the afternoon and coaching football, they're taking the girls through the routine, and so that's kind of I'm lucky to have really good assistants to able to do that, and then I'll get back in there in the morning, and that's kind of how we handle that overlap in there. But getting over football in general, it's still kind of there. I drove past Crane the other day, and I'm like, gosh, But I was excited to get back out there, in fact, because it was just a beautiful day. But that's besides the point. We're on to gymnastics, and I got to put football on the back burner for now. But yeah,
football's never in the back. It's always right here. I'm pointing at my heart for everyone. But no, we did have our opening show of gymnastics. We talked a little bit about it, but for those that may just be catching up to us now, give us a faster version of your assistant coaches, kind of who's helping you, and kind of catch us up.
Absolutely. We have some new ones this year, but my number one assistant coach this year, JV Varsity, is Haley Bornhagen, formerly Haley Deedy. So that's a new last name in there. She got married this summer, and so she is back with us, former alumni, former Gazelle gymnast. And then Laura Stellick is a kindergarten teacher, and she did some club gymnastics for us. She actually filled in for my assistant coach that went on maternity leave last year, so she spent the second half with us. And then new to the program this year is A.B. Reifenrath, who is a former Gazelle gymnast and current Mount Marty student, and so she's handling the middle school program. So we got a good lineup with a lot of knowledge, and I'm excited about the crew.
Well, before we get into the actual competition that we'll recap, I do want to say I blame you for something that's going on at my house lately. So obviously you used to head up Riverside Gymnastics, right?
Correct.
And you got my kids involved in their gymnastics, and still are doing that, thankfully, and they really enjoy it, of course. But I talked a big game when Katie was pregnant with Marshall, right? Like, oh man, when I have a boy, it's gonna be so much fun, rough and tumble. I was in the Army, right? I was like, yeah,
right.
No,
yeah.
I am the most risk adverse parent there is. And what I mean by that is, ever since he started gymnastics, right, that kid will just walk off a couch, like he'll just jump on the couch, and everything, right? But there's no safety protocol with that kid. He will just jump onto the floor. Like yesterday, he did like a cannonball, I guess you could say, or a belly flop, right, onto just the floor.
Oh, no matting, just all you want to rough and tumble. That'll translate over.
Yeah, so I'm gonna set up a direct deposit with the ER eventually. We're just gonna figure it out. But I blame gymnastics for that. But I also think gymnastics, for those kids, are really enjoying it, and it's a good sport.
It's a great sport for a lot of things: discipline, balance, agility. Like core strength. Oxford did it when he was younger too, and I can see how it's showing up in the rest of the sports he played. So keep him in it, and hopefully see Kirby in the program here eventually. But definitely worth it.
Yeah, Kirby's enjoying it too. She takes a different approach to it. She's not like the rough and tumble kind, because she's also in dance, so she's really into like the flexibility portion.
That's a perfect matchup. Yeah,
there you go. All right, but there was a competition. Sorry. You and we go on some side streets, but it's okay. It is what it is. All right, Yankton Gymnastics finished second in their home triangular against Mitchell, Parkston, Ethan Hansen. That was on Tuesday night. Yankton finished second. Mitchell took the overall team title of that one. But, sophomores Berkeley Olson, Marissa Birkland, top finishers for Yankton, taking home fourth and fifth in all-around competition. So wherever you want to take it from there. A pretty good start to the season.
Yeah, I was really happy with that. When you host a meet and you kind of get ready for things, sometimes you don't really, you pay attention to some of the scores, but then you don't have a chance to really kind of absorb it because everything's kind of moving quite quickly, and then you're not adding up the scores, kind of see where you're at to kind of try to keep pace. So when we got to the end of the night and we went 133.8, which is one of our higher scores even from last year. I think we ended up, our highest score last year was like 136, 137, but we started out like 128, 129 last year. And so, and that's with 36 all-rounder, 36 plus all-rounder with Ava Collar. And now we have this group of girls that have been with the program for a long time, and, headed up by senior leader Aaliyah Fluke, who didn't have her best meet, but she still was able to lead the team, showing that she can battle through adversity. And those 2 sophomores really stepped up. And, Berkeley actually qualified, had a qualifying score. So just quickly, I know we'll probably go over this a million times, Bryce, but to qualify for the state individual day, which is that second Saturday in February, that you have to score. There's different ways to qualify, but one of the in-season qualifications is that if you score a certain score 3 times in a meet throughout the year, you're automatically qualified. And so that's kind of the goal. So then you don't have to stress at the state qualifying meet about qualifying. So Berkeley and Marissa Berkland, both on beam, which is one of our down events last year, both hit a qualifying score, which is great. So they set the tone right away on that event for us, because that's the event that we need to really focus on, and bars. So we were up on bars and we're up on beam, and that helped us out to achieve a great starting point of 133.8. And then you fill in with our freshmen. I mean, you go from 1 senior all the way down to 2 sophomores, and the rest are freshmen, 8th graders and 7th graders. But again, they have talent. I mean, the talent's there, the experience is there. Some of the girls, as you kind of work yourself down, they don't have as much experience, competing at the JV varsity level. But even the JV team scored a 112, which they ended the year last year at a 112. So things are looking up. And we're focusing on just strength and conditioning right now in the gym. So once we kind of get some of the skills that we want to put in there into our routines, I'm looking for some really good things to happen.
The word, technically it's the right word, but I wish I could come up with a better word, but kind of what's the attrition from, sub-varsity when it keeps getting up to the, varsity, because you seem to have a lot of girls, younger girls, that are involved in those lower levels right now. Yeah.
And that's one of those things that when you want to try to keep numbers high and try to keep the program running solid with training, because it's a difficult sport. I mean, we all know that. I mean, it's tough on you mentally and physically, and so it's not for everybody. And there's some drop off in there, obviously, but we try to keep it positive. We try to keep it fun. We try to keep it team oriented. Our culture that we're building, that we have been building for a long time. It relies on 5 attributes of a gymnast, or a gazelle gymnast, as we call it. So we're talking about discipline, commitment, effort, toughness, and pride. And so we kind of instill that in throughout the girls at a lower age, and it's helped. I mean, they're in there doing their thing, and at any time, one of those girls, if we need someone specifically on floor or bars or beam, we can just pull one of those girls up and plug them into to a spot, and that's kind of fun to see. It's kind of fun to watch the environment grow, and we have really good personalities and really good chemistry right now. So we just want to keep that going, and that's kind of the key thing, because it's a marathon, and it's a grind. So we got to keep it fun and light, and kind of balance the workload, and with keeping them healthy as well.
Yeah, it is a marathon. I'm looking at your schedule here. It's like a basketball schedule, just all the way down. A lot of dates. Speaking of events, though, obviously with the renovations happening at Event Central and stuff, you and I talked about just kind of the space got smaller, but it's still efficient. How'd the event go as far as having kind of the quote-unquote new space?
That's the thing. Everyone's like, the space got cut down. Well, we were kind of blessed to have 30,000 square feet. Like, there's not a gym hardly around that has 30,000 square feet to begin with. And when it got cut into, I think it's down to 18,000, somewhere around there. But our gym at the high school was right around like 5,500, square feet. So it's like
still like 3 times.
Yeah, we still got plenty of space. So logistically, we're trying to figure out kind of the flow with seating and stuff like that. They're still kind of finishing some things up, but I think once they finish that up, we're going to have a better idea of kind of how to keep people moving. Because there's things that are always moving when you're at a gymnastics meet with the rotation. So if someone has to get up and get to go to the concessions or use the restroom, we don't want them walking across the vault runway and get ran over by when the gym is. So we want to protect everybody in there.
So that's space. A whole different sport.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, that is. Yeah. So we're getting to like medieval things now, but it's just trying to find the flow and logistically. I thought on Tuesday, it worked very well. And Mitchell brings a crowd too, so that's kind of a thing that I was excited to kind of see how it was going to flow. So then we can adjust from there for our next 2 home meets that we will host there, and then of course when we host ESD, we'll move everything out to the high school, and that'll be a better venue for that big event.
From my perspective, it always seems that Yankton and Mitchell are kind of those two, at least near the top, two schools that have the most support for the gymnastics, it seems.
Yeah, we travel well, and we have a great fan base, and it was really fun to see it growing. I mean, there's faces in the crowd. Like I said, the freshmen that we have and the sophomores that we have been competing since 7th grade, and to see kind of who is all connected to them in the fan group, follow them, and then even expand and grow. We're getting some of the dance team out there that was at the meet the other night, supporting the girls, and that's kind of neat to see. And hopefully, I can catch some of those girls on the web maybe a little bit, and be a floor specialist here and there. So I'm like, hey, bring them all in and let's show them what it's all about. And it was a good time on Tuesday, and just excited to kind of keep things going. When we set that benchmark of 133.8. You don't want to take any steps backwards, so we'll have plenty of chances to kind of improve, and hopefully by the end, Bryce, we'll be in a really good spot to compete for some hardware.
Absolutely, you'll be seeing Mitchell again here shortly. The Quadrangular, December 12th, up at the Mitchell Mega Gymnastics Center. Also will be there as Pierre and O'Gorman. Kind of, what are your just kind of team goals entering that competition? Just early in the season.
Early in the season, like I said, we have stuff that we are preparing to put into our routines at a later date. So I want to make sure their routines are safe. So that's kind of one of the things where we're just going to kind of ease into it. And with Mitchell and O'Gorman and Pierre, all top teams from last year's state meet, it's going to be another good benchmark for us to kind of see where we're at. And the one thing that I'm stressing to the girls is if you can take your routines and make them just 1%, 2% better, and just fix some things up, which is pretty easy to do, whether it's pointing your toes or straightening your legs or whatnot. And we took 2 falls. We stuck 2 beam routines out of 7. So, I mean, there's room for growth there too. So we're just looking to, number one, stay on the beam. That'd be great. And still perform on the other.
Start small.
Yeah, right. And then keep on swinging bars. That's the other thing too. Just clean up some things on bars. And if we can just take another step forward and just keep on stepping forward and eliminate those kind of step backwards, as far as the score. But that's how an individual, people think of gymnastics as such an individual sport. Well, that's what I love about high school gymnastics is that it's all team oriented at the end and all throughout it. Because if you individually can grow your scores in those disciplines, those 4 disciplines, just a 10th more, that's huge. Because then that'll add to our team score, and then we're in a really good spot. So, so that's kind of what our goal is just kind of keep moving forward and just clean some things up, and just hopefully we can, hit 134, and just keep on trucking.
Well, sounds good, Coach. Enjoy some youth basketball today with the family, and I want to let you know I appreciate you coming to the studio.
You bet, Bryce. I'm glad to be here.
All right, let's Coach Justin Olson, Yankton Gazelles Gymnastics. Take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
My name is Jacob Foken. Running Songbird Kombucha allows me to show my imaginative spirit. Mount Marty was huge in giving me something to work towards and something to become. I didn't set out to become a kombucha brewer. Sort of everything fell into place. The brewing part is how I can be in touch with my artistry and my imagination.
Show your spirit at Mount Marty University and schedule a tour today at showyourspiritmmu.com.
Isn't it great when things work how they should? Like the award-winning free checking from FNBO. No monthly fees, no minimums, and no overdraft fees, ever. Online, in the app, on the go, or down the street. You be you, and we'll make it easy to bank your way and manage your account. Here's to simple, flexible, and free. Here's to checking that works the way you want it to. Visit fnbo.com to learn more or stop on by. FNBO Free Checking. Member FDIC.
You can get expert eye care in Yankton with Avera Medical Group Wilcox & Eye Associates. Here, eye diseases and injuries receive the best care because we offer the newest surgical techniques, supported by the best technology. We'd be honored to be on the forefront of your eye care. Learn more by visiting avera.org/Wilcoxon. Avera.org/Wilcoxon.
Did you ever hear that cheese is the favorite food of all mice? Well, that's just a myth. Here's the fact. Mice love all food, often eating up to 8 pounds of it in their lifetime. Mice spread disease through urine, droppings, and dander, contaminating food and surfaces like counters and floors, and that's no myth. A pest professional is your best defense against the devastation rodents, termites, roaches, and ants can cause to your home and family.
Olson Pest Technicians, 1-800-KIL-BUGS.
Are you suffering from a recent injury or chronic pain?
Come see us, Lane and Reed Sawatsky at SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
We offer a wide variety of techniques to meet every patient's need and preference, including adjustments, dry needling, acupuncture, cupping, and rehabilitation.
We are dedicated to providing personalized and effective treatment plans to help you perform at your highest level and feel your best.
Whether you're dealing with back pain, neck pain, or a sports injury, we've got you covered.
Go to SWATchiropracticandrehab.com to schedule an appointment.
Think about how people really see you. The kid at the drive-thru just sees a coffee drinker.
Please pull forward.
Your local barista sees the person who loves a smiley face in their latte.
See you next time.
It's kind of the same way with insurance. Other insurance companies just see a customer, but a State Farm agent sees more. They see you as a neighbor. Your State Farm agent is here to get to know who you really are, so they can help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411 today to learn more.
Looking for the perfect pair of glasses? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect match for your look. Experience personalized service and expert care. Whether you need help finding the right frame or adjusting your new glasses for the perfect fit.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Are you ready to drive home your savings? For a limited time, Explorers CU is offering an incredible deal on auto loans. They'll beat your current auto loan rate by up to 2% on new and used vehicle refinances from other institutions. Choose from a variety of terms to fit your budget and lifestyle. Enjoy a fast, easy application and approval process with no application fee. Don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to save. Visit us at explorerscu.com to learn more and apply today.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MTRC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
Traveling to Yankton for business or pleasure? Then book your stay at Yankton's two best hotels, the Fairfield Inn and Suites and Holiday Inn Express. Both are conveniently located to everything in Yankton. Both offer complimentary hot breakfasts and meeting rooms for business travelers. And if you want a great rate and still be able to change your reservation without a hassle, call either hotel direct. The Fairfield and Holiday Inn Express, two great hotel choices when visiting or arranging rooms for guests to Yankton.
At Triple Time Rudy's, not only do you get top-notch fuel to keep you on the move, but it's a destination for delicious local treats. You'll find quality South Dakota products like Dimmock cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. It's your community's pit stop for more than just fuel. Triple Time Rudy's supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers. For all your daily fill-ups and convenience needs, stop by Triple Time Rudy's at 17th and Broadway.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig, 1019 Broadway Avenue here in Yankton. And we'll get started on some Yankton Gazelles basketball. Joined us in the studio here this morning, Coach Blake Savvy, Coach Jill Muth, and turn down the music a little bit, Bryce. Jeez. I blame you guys for this. You know, first winter official studio show.
Yes.
All the
Here I was
noises
going to say
and
good
all.
morning, but now I'm not.
Well, just because I blamed you for something that clearly wasn't your fault?
Absolutely.
Wow, standards. All right, coaches, did you get your pizza, though, from Pizza Ranch?
Absolutely. We thanks. did. They're good.
All
It's
right.
good. Always.
Good to go. Hey, last night's season opener, obviously, and overall, I'm going to go ahead and say a successful night for Gazelles program in the whole look of things, from sub-varsity, varsity. And we'll start with varsity basketball and Coach Blake Savvy. Obviously, Gazelles fall 50-43 last night. But some takeaways from the game. You and I talked in our post game, the adjustments that were made. But I guess the best way to start would just talk about Eden Wolfgram. 34 points on the night, 4 points away from tying a school record. I'm sure she had no idea. No one had any idea except for the person with the record book.
Right.
But set by Diane Heemstra in 1978 and Lisa Van Gore in 1979. She also had 4 rebounds and an assist. Just an overall solid night from her, and it's showing the leadership on the floor.
Yeah, I think a really good point guard can get their teammates involved and get things going, and she did a good job of that as well, and trying to find opportunities to drive and kick to her teammates and try and get them in a rhythm. But then when you take that extra step is when you can go and create for yourself as well as a point guard, and she really did that. Great driving lanes throughout the night. She was able to hit some threes as well, and then get to the foul line. And then when she got to the foul line, she was very good from there, 11 for 12 from the free throw line. Really good stat line there. And overall, just did a great job commanding the court a little bit. And then I think when you're working on a night like that offensively, she still turned around and defended really, really hard. And all in all, she was out with us for 30 seconds to grab one swig of water and then back in. So to do all of that with that shorter rest, it was a phenomenal night for Eden, and we're proud of her for that. Absolutely.
She was feisty on the court too. I like to see that.
Yeah.
They were very competitive on the floor. Adjustments as a team, obviously, and again, we're reiterating stuff we talked about in the post game, but a lot of people didn't catch that, and they're catching this for the first time. Gazelles trouble rebounding early on. It got better in the second half, especially. So question 1, was there adjustment made there? And then 2, we again went over it last night, but Lubavitch in the first half, just a monster for Sioux Falls Lincoln. But Gazelles really kind of shut her down in the third period. She kind of started awakening in the fourth again. But kind of what was that adjustment at halftime?
Yeah, I think rebounding-wise, it was just talking to them about we have to find a body before we try and find the ball. And I still think there was work to be done in the second half, rebounding as a team. But they definitely looked a little bit better. And then there were some times where we had hands on the ball. We just didn't grab it. And so a few of those things, cleaning those up. The adjustment on Lubavitch, who, had a great game, and she's going to be a really good player across the state this year. She's strong. She can handle the ball, so they can put her on the perimeter. She can rip, drive, and go, or she can back you down and make a move. But we just put some quickness on her a little bit, and so I thought Berkeley Olson and Addie Muth did a great job coming in and just kind of being a little bit quicker on her. And that was just, I think, made her uncomfortable enough to where it's kind of started to not let her dictate what she wanted to do as much. And that was a big adjustment that the girls, for the first game, a lot of girls on the varsity court for the first time in a season, for them to be able to take some adjustments like that they maybe were not planning on at all going into that game, and then do it on the fly and execute it pretty well. That's a really good sign for us in the program that they can do that, take that, and then execute night 1, game 1, because we're going to have to do that throughout the season.
And game 1 of, hopefully 21 or 22 or 3, whatever many. So obviously a lot of time to correct this, but three-pointing. I think I just made up a word. 3-pointers last night, 3 of 36 as a team. Just seemed like a lot of open shots, good looking shots, but a lot of excited shots, right? A lot of, I'm assuming that's going to calm down.
Yeah. Like we talked about as a coaching staff, there were 9 girls that made their way into the game last night. And out of those 9, one of them had considerable amount of minutes last year. Yep. So we had 8 girls finding their feet on the varsity court for the first time. There's now a bigger crowd. There's larger noise, and the stakes are a little bit higher, and adrenaline follows with that. So we saw a lot of shots go long and over the rim, and that'll calm down as we go. They're going to get their feet under them. We've seen them make all of those shots 100 times in practice. So we know that our girls can shoot the ball. We maybe don't want to see 36 threes every game. We can look for opportunities to drive a little bit more, and we'll point some of those out. But we also know that our girls can knock down those shots.
The girls did look didn't look very nervous, so they looked confident on the floor, and I like the ball movement. I'm sure as coach staff you did as well. Obviously you want things changed, right? But overall, I liked a lot of things I was seeing from a very young team.
Yeah, there's a lot to build on from that, and that's what we just kind of told the girls last night. We said from the beginning, we want to get out and dictate the pace. We want to push the ball, and then we want to create chaos. And when we look back, we're plus 11 in the turnover margin. We got a lot of shots up. We ran in transition. We did really well as far as all of those things were concerned. And, when we look at just the third and fourth quarter, we went out and we won the second half 22-18. And so there's a lot to take away from a young team that just saw the court for the very first time.
And Coach Jill Muth, JV, let's start there. 60-34, a really decisive victory for the Gazelles as we're all sharing our stats here. And if you don't mind talking a little bit about that, you just love to see them open the season off with that nice of a victory.
Yeah, excuse me, absolutely. It was nice for all of us to come out and get that first win of the season. And I think that our girls really from the get-go just took command of that JV game. I mean, I think jumped out 15-2. It was right away, just foot on the gas pedal and let's go. And September Rao came out and had a really, really great first half for us. She had 22 points in the first half, and she didn't play the second half for us. So she had a really nice night for us on the JV floor. She came out and was making plays. She made jump shots. She found her teammates, was aggressive. And not just her, but everybody came out the first half, and we were aggressive defensively. We had talked a lot this first 2 weeks of practice about wanting to be a better team at denying a first pass and being annoying on the defensive end. And I thought our JV, the first half, really, really did a fantastic job of that.
Remind me again, what's the rule with periods played again with sub-varsity and varsity?
Yep, they get 7 quarters a night. So we were working with that numbers-wise pretty much throughout our whole program with having 20 girls and trying to play 3 games. So, that's something where, okay, you get this girl for this quarter, no, I want her for this quarter, and we kind of, anyway, it was a little bit of a puzzle that we put together, and it's not a done puzzle. I think it's something that as we continue throughout the year, it'll be adjusted and tweaked, and game 1 was a good look, but it's not, any time to start, making final decisions for February, in game 1.
Yep, final decisions made after game 1. Yep. No, you talked about September Rao, but obviously Sabrina Kraske also had a really nice game, 13 points. But the stat I see that I just love the most is 7-7 at the line. If the Gazelles can shoot really well at the line, that's going to help the season. Obviously, it's just such a huge thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Taking opportunities that you get from the line and making those, free throws that they call them, is a really big advantage to any offense, having those points that come your way. So we are hoping that we can continue to get to the line. I'm just looking here, too. We were 14 of 21, so 21 free throws in a JV game. That's a lot of free throws.
A lot of opportunities there. And then you turn to the freshman game, and Gazelles fall by 4, but, man, that did go down to the wire. Even bled into my pregame, so blame you guys for that. No, but it was a good game, and obviously it didn't go the Gazelles' way, but I think you could probably take a lot of positives from having that experience, right? Those close game experiences with these girls.
Yeah, absolutely. We came out, and I think same thing with the varsity. First half, we were nervous. We were adjusting. We were learning, and of our girls that played in that C game, we had 6 freshmen who've never played a varsity game. I guess they did play last year, but the first time being a freshman, and then we had our couple sophomores, 3 sophomores that played with us, and we were looking at quarter limitations with them, so they each got 3 quarters, and I think that first half we were definitely nervous and did a lot of, oh gosh, what do I do next, instead of just playing, and at halftime we told them, okay, let's come out in the third quarter and make it manageable, let's cut it to, whatever we can, because we were down 12, I think, at half, and we won the third quarter by 7, so we had it cut to 5 or 6, and that's what we said in the huddle starting the fourth quarter, is we got ourselves in a position where now we can go see if we can win this game. And we competed, we got a few shots, and, 2 weeks in, I wish we'd have had another week because, we got into some situations where we hadn't worked at all really with our C team about end of game situations. They'd been defense for the end of game situations, but hadn't really had a chance to them be, so we were taking a couple timeouts and, trying to run an out of bounds play or run this and, again, on the fly with kids that don't have a ton of experience. And I was really proud of them. I mean, we got some good shots. We made a lot of good plays, and it just, just didn't get them to go in. But I liked that we came out and competed, and both the varsity game and the C game, got down double digits and cut it to single digits and had some shots to, make it interesting or win a game. And it just didn't go our way. But I think a lot of good things to build on, but also gave us some things to work on.
As you mentioned, a lot of time, a lot of other teams have a lot more time than the Gazelles have had in preseason. I mean, this year, starting December 6th, last year, December 2nd, or no, 1st, and then the year before, December 2nd. Coach Savvy, what are we thinking next year, like November 20th, start the season?
That seems to be the,
going back.
the summer rhythm that we're in, the pattern.
June 19th, opening game for the Gazelles. No, I don't know what's going on there. I'll have to talk to Ryan Moores about that eventually, but... next up for Gazelles program hosting Huron. Obviously, the varsity game tips off at 7. For those who would like to tune in, 6:30 pregame on KYNT and KYNTV. But a lot of things there. First ESD game of the season. Their first chance at just the opening victory of the season, all at the Summit in front of the home crowd. It's a big game.
Yeah, Huron, they return a few players in Hilton Hines, Allie Davis, and then Chloe Carr, 3 juniors that will be pretty solid for them. And Chloe Carr, the Carr name is a pretty good basketball name in the Huron, South Dakota, world. And we're going to have to be ready for her. And very similar, right? So we just got done having to figure out how to defend a talented post. Chloe Carr is a 6-foot junior that we're going to have to, again, find some answers for. And hopefully we can find those answers a little bit quicker now. Having seen it once now in a game. And then they're very similar to our makeup roster-wise other than that. As far as height, size, and just kind of the ratio of guards to forwards, they're pretty similar to us. So, but they'll have that presence down low that we'll just have to find an answer to. We're excited to be back in the Summit Center and open the season there. I think we've told the girls all year, and I thought last night was a testament to it. Win or lose, the Yankton community is going to show up for a team that works hard and fights to the end and is just a scrappy team. And we heard that right away after last night's game. Like, well, that was a great fight. Way to get ourselves back in. All these things. Like the crowd was like, that was a fun game to watch. And that's what our girls need to understand. And we'll continue to bring to the court. And that's why we're excited to bring that home now to the Summit Center and be in front of the home crowd.
I'm looking forward to it. The one thing about Lubavitch real quick. So last night, obviously the Sioux Falls Lincoln student section is doing what they're supposed to do, be annoying. But my broadcast partner, Braden Butler, did tell me that they were chanting at one point they call her Lubron. And I found that pretty funny.
Okay.
But I shared that little nugget.
Yeah.
I was chuckling about that one for a little while. But no, good effort last night, as you just mentioned, from the Gazelles. And assuming you guys have the rest of the weekend and week to get ready for Huron. So appreciate coaches coming in here, talking Gazelles basketball, enjoying some pizza, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. A lot of big football this weekend, guys.
There is.
Go Yotes.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, coaches.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bryce.
All right, we'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Do you want a job that keeps it real? At Truxedo, a real truck company, we keep it real by promoting our values of excellent service, teamwork, accountability, and innovation. Join the Truxedo team and enjoy your next career adventure. We have a variety of openings, including weekend maintenance technician 2. So don't wait. Get up, get out, and apply at realtruck.com/careers. Start your next adventure with a career at Truxedo.
¿Está buscando una casa para comprar? Me llamo Deb Speck de Vision Real Estate y puedo ayudarle a encontrar la casa perfecta. Yo sé que la barrera del idioma puede ser difícil, pero puedo facilitar el proceso. Escoja a un agente que se habla español. Envíeme un mensaje de texto 605-661 9398.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Your flex spending dollars expire soon. Stop into Yankton Medical Clinic Pharmacy before the end of the year. The friendly staff will assist you with your medication needs and questions. They offer brand name and generic prescriptions, special order items, over-the-counter medications, and more. And provide convenient online refills, drive-up service, free delivery or mail-outs, and evening and weekend hours. Call Yankton Medical Clinic Pharmacy, 665-2929, or visit yanktonmedicalclinic.com. So much care, so close to home.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Thanks to Coach Blake Savvy, Coach Jill Muth for joining us here this morning talking Gazelles basketball. And I also want to talk some Yankton wrestling. I did not get a chance to record Robert Coyle. We did communicate, however, for Yankton Bucks and Gazelles wrestling, and do have some results for you, though. Thursday night, Yankton Bucks wrestling is now 1-1 on the season. They fell to Watertown 47-25. But defeated Beersford, Alcester Hudson 51-27 in that triangular. Against Watertown, Colton Archer, Damian Janish, Bodie Thurman, Chase Platt, and Peyton Eustace all picked up wins. In their duel with BAH, all five were victorious yet again, as were Jolton, Rebnitz Hahn, Corbin Saylor, and Derek Beal. And then Thursday night, the Gazelles started their season 2-0 in their duels, winning 36-24 over Beersford and Alcester Hudson. And then yesterday, talked to Coyle, and the Gazelles got 6 out of 19 teams in the Watertown Invite. Chloe Caton, 3rd place at 107. Alex Brendan, 8th place at 126. Madison Brown, 7th place at 132. Jocelyn Kite, 6th place at 145. Winry Yagi, 3rd place at 152. And Aliyah Rzishka, 6th place at 235. And then today, the Bucks are at the Watertown tournament as well. And we'll have those results for you Monday morning on KYNT in the morning, or on KYNT1450.com. Just go to the Sports Zone and look at local sports news. I did catch up with Coach Chris Haynes, Yankton Bucks basketball. Obviously, that season hasn't started yet, but it will be starting this coming Friday. And about to talk to him. Join us on the Pizza Ranch phone line around the corner. Don't go anywhere. This is the Coach's Corner.
The other day, a customer came into the UPS store with a few special gifts she needed to ship for the holidays. As we were packing them securely, she asked if we could also help her design and print custom Christmas cards. The answer? Of course we can. Hi, this is Doug at the UPS store in Yankton and Vermilion. For over 8 years, we've been helping customers with their holiday needs, from shipping gifts to creating personalized cards. Stop in today and let us make your holiday season easier.
Something big is happening at Hy-Vee. We've just lowered thousands and thousands of prices on thousands and thousands of items in every aisle and in every department. Online, too. And on many of your favorite products. We've even matched prices with some of the biggest discount stores in the country. Because we get it, times are still tough. So we'll continue to work hard to bring you new lower prices on thousands of items. Things are looking different at Hy-Vee. Come see for yourself.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Let's start talking Yankton Bucks basketball. Joining us on the Pizza Ranch phone line, Coach Chris Haynes. Coach, long time no talk. How was your summer and your fall as well? You and I really haven't spoken that much.
Yeah, it's been a while, but it goes fast, as you know. It seems like just yesterday. We were wrapping up the season and getting our off season started and kicked off, and then the summer flies by. Fall, we had a good fall sports season, and I was happy to see a lot of our guys that are playing basketball competing and participating in fall sports. And here we go. Next thing you know, the calendar has turned to December, and it's time for some basketball.
I can't always tell when basketball is starting with you, because you and I had a few interactions before you had contact with the team and started coaching. But I can always tell your voice is starting to hang on for dear life, Coach. I can tell.
Yeah, get that gym voice the first week, especially. So we started practice this past Monday and did 2-a-days Monday through Thursday and got 8 practices in. And then, the voice can really take a hit from that. And I got to get it in shape, just like we're trying to get our guys in shape. We're trying to get their legs in shape. I also got to get my voice in basketball shape, Bryce.
That makes sense. Let's talk about the team a little bit. Obviously, there's a lot of time before the first competition at Harrisburg on the 13th, but some practices under your belt, like you mentioned, and you're talking about getting them into shape. How were they? Obviously, basketball shape is a whole different kind of animal, but was everyone coming in pretty prepared, or kind of where was the starting blocks?
Yeah, it's always the same every year. I mean, and we're fortunate most of our guys play football, and our football team plays fast, but it's totally different. So the boys came in the gym, pretty much right after football was over for a couple weeks of open gym, and even right there, you could tell that, like you said, basketball is just a different type of getting in shape and different muscles and getting your lungs acclimated to running extensively for a longer period of time. But the boys are working hard. Well, like I said, we had 2-a-days Monday through Thursday, and so that's a taxing week, no doubt. But there's just so much stuff to get in such a short period of time, Bryce. Only given you start on Monday, and then the following Friday you're already playing a game, and so there's just so much to get in. So we got 8 practices in there. Yesterday, Friday, we had a little practice after picture day and getting all that stuff done. And then we had our Powerade scrimmage last night at 6 o'clock. So we already got a good base of 9 practices in. The boys are lifting right now up with Coach Rosie, and then we'll come back this afternoon and get our 10th practice in for the week. And we like that, a solid 10 practices in that first week, and until we flip the page, we just focus on ourselves that first week, Bryce. We're not talking about Harrisburg or Washington or Lincoln or anybody else. We're just focused on ourselves that first week. As like I said, there's so much that we have to get in and install. And even though you do some things over the summer, it's just different once you get in season. And so we've been working on that all week, and now we hopefully have a good practice this afternoon, and then turn the page and you start getting into games already in game week next week.
Coach, I'm going to let you practice for the winter kickoff this next Monday. Kind of what's the health of Yankton Bucks basketball as a whole, numbers-wise, going as far down as you care to?
Yeah, we got good numbers throughout the program. We're fortunate. We've always had good numbers in our camps that we hold in our academy in the summer. We're feeling very good. We got 4 seniors this year, and looking forward to them coming back. All 3 of them got extensive varsity time last year, and Carson Ness and Easton Nelson, Cohen Zarbach, and Bryce Krall. Obviously, Bryce played a lot. Cohen didn't play a lot last year. Just he had the knee injury in football and missed the entire basketball season. So those 4, like every year, Bryce, we're gonna lean on those 4 as our base. And we always say we'll go as far as our seniors take us. And through this first week, we've been. They've just done a great job about being leaders, and they're great kids and being great leaders for us. And, through the past 13 years, our standards and expectations have been set through our senior classes. And it's very nice to see these 4 doing their part and leading and making sure that standard and expectation stays where we want it to be. Throughout the program, we're right around 40 kids, which is a good number. In the middle school, obviously our middle school doesn't start until after Christmas now, but just judging by camps in previous years, I think we'll have really solid numbers there. Like I said, all the way down to the youth levels, it seems like there's an interest definitely in basketball in town, and kids are excited about it.
All right, and it might be a little early to fully know this, Coach. I'm not sure, but kind of what kind of team are we looking at this season? Are we depending on speed, or kind of what is the main philosophy for this varsity? Obviously, it's not height. That's kind of what you and I always joke about every year, but kind of what are you going to be hanging your hat on?
Yeah, we've been little in the past, as you know, Bryce. With the exception, obviously Matthew was a big kid and a big hunter, or Evan Greenway in the past. But for the most part, we just haven't had real big kids. And this year, so we've been small, and this is going to be our smallest year. We're just not very big. Bryce Crawl, like we said, is a senior, 6 foot. Is probably going to start at the 5 for us. Cullen Zarbach's got a little length to him, 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", and kind of long. But other than that, all of our guys are at 6 foot, a couple of them. Otherwise, under 6 foot. Abe O'Brien, 6'1", 6'2", a little length to him. But we're just not very big across the board. And so, you just do what you can with that. We're going to try to defend like we always make it a point of emphasis. We think we can play good team defense. Hopefully we can do that. Obviously not being very big, we're going to maybe have to try some different things as far as guarding the post. And then offensively, it's going to be hard for us, again, defensively, maybe to guard the other team's bigs. But offensively, we're hoping that we can spread the other team out and play more 5 out and get some cutting action and make their big guys chase us around as well.
I love to hear it, and looking forward to seeing how it all plays out. And I guess for today, Coach, that's pretty much all we have. We still have a little bit more time before first competition, as we mentioned, but I didn't want to go another week without talking Yankton Bucks basketball. So I really appreciate you joining us here on the Pizza Ranch phone line.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Bryce. Good to get back in the swing of things and get back into our weekly chats.
Sounds good. That was Coach Chris Haynes, Yankton Bucks basketball. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Sports injuries can be the result of competitive activities, but can also happen by just participating in leisure activities too. If you're experiencing pain as the result of your chosen activity, consider chiropractic care. I'm Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson with First Chiropractic Centers. We have experienced chiropractors that work with sports injuries every day. Our treatment options are aimed to minimize pain, reduce recovery time, and reduce risk of future injuries. Visit First Chiropractic Centers, making life better, one adjustment at a time.
Don't wait for the snow and cold to get here. Now is the time to get your garage and shop doors repaired and serviced before the winter season. It's time to call the Garage Door Professionals. This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We will service your door for less problems this winter. So if your garage or shop doors need replacing or just a tune-up, get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer, Upper Midwest Garage Door. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Thanks to Coach Chris Haynes joining us on the Pizza Ranch phone line. Always appreciate the time that he takes to join us. Thanks to all of our coaches for making themselves available for this winter edition of the Coach's Corner. Special thanks to Explorers Credit Union powering the show. Explorers Credit Union, wherever you want your financial journey to take you, Explorers Credit Union is here to help with the vision of financial empowerment for everyone. Discover the difference at explorerscu.com. And of course, Pizza Ranch for legendary chicken and the best pizza. It's Yankton Pizza Ranch. It's on Broadway, or you can call 665-1222. Mike and the crew there doing an excellent job as always, and this morning providing delicious pizza to our coaches and to myself. And always appreciate their support and their partnership here on the Coach's Corner. Thanks to all of our sponsors making the broadcast possible, and of course to you, the listener and viewer on KYNT and KYNTV, Yankton's home team and stream. I'm Bryce Ladwig. Go Bucks, go Gazelles, and go enjoy the rest of your weekend.
FM 102.1 and AM 1450, KYNT, Yankton.